The fundamental theorem of algebra says if f of x is a polynomial of degree n, where n is greater than or equal to 1, meaning you have an x value, because that's x, that would be x squared, x cubed, plus x squared plus x. So notice on all of these, they have a degree greater than or equal to 1. The first one has a degree of 1, the second one has a degree of 2, the third one has a degree of 3. Okay, so that's what that means. Then the equation f of x equal to 0, meaning you set y equal to 0. When we're talking about functions, we use f of x. Y and f of x are the same thing, has at least one complex 0. And you're like, what does that mean? Complex 0 just means it has at least one complex 0. It's going to either have a real 0, it's going to have an imaginary 0, but it's going to have at least one, is what it's saying. Which that's what we found. If you think about it, it's like, duh, right? So you'll have a real 0 or you'll have an imaginary. And remember, at the very beginning of this lecture, I showed you the complex numbers crowd. This is where it's in the form of a plus bi, but b is equal to 0. And these are in the form of a plus bi, but b is not equal to 0. The imaginary part exists, and on this side, the imaginary part does not exist because it's 0. Okay? So if a polynomial has a degree at least 1 or higher, then it has at least 1 0 is basically what they're saying. You just have to determine, is it irrational? Are all the zeros rational? Are all the zeros irrational? Are they imaginary? You have to find what zeros there are, but just know there is at least 1 0. You just have to find it. So let's do this one. We're gonna just go through the steps. We're gonna list all the possible rational zeros. We're gonna use synthetic division to test to see which one we have, and then we're gonna find all the remaining ones. Now, I promise you, we're not gonna go through 12. We're not gonna go through 12 of them, okay? I won't do that to you. We're not gonna go through 12 of them. We're just gonna go through a couple, and just so you can see from start to finish how it works. All right, let's list all the possible zeros. Remember, it's the factors of 45 divided by the factors of 1. So our P are going to be the factors of 45, which is what, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 9. Was that 15? I'm totally guessing. Let me see. 1, 3, yeah, 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. Y'all check my math. I believe all of those, looking at my notes, 1, 3, 5, 9. Good. We're good. And then our Q are all the factors of 1, which is plus or minus 1. We're going to take all of these and divide them by 1. So if all of them are divided by 1, what is your list? My list is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 9, plus or minus 15, and plus or minus 45. That is what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We are not going to test all 12 of these. Okay, but because I'm looking at this polynomial function, I have an idea of which ones I want to test. I'm going to test 3 because we got 45, we got 9. So I'm like, okay, let's test 3. So I'm going to will it let me paste it? Okay. I'm going to put this right here. Is that okay? Those are our possible zeros, all right? Let me put it right here. Okay. So let's test. We're going to say C is equal to 3. Let's test 3. I'm guessing just because I see the 9 and the 45. So let's just try it. And that's what I'm saying. When you start looking at these numbers, you should have an idea of which ones you want to try. Now, it goes cubed, squared, x, so that's good. So I'm going to put these in order. I have 1, -5, -9, and 45. My C is 3. The first number comes down, right? So we have 1. 1 times 3 is 3. -5 plus 3, negative 2. -2 times 3 is 6. Trying to make sure my math is, okay, 6. Cool. Already see something I did. Oh, negative. Y'all see? -2 times 3, -6. I'm talking about watching my signs. I didn't even watch my signs. And then negative 9 and negative 6, that's going to be a negative 15. And negative 15 times 3. I know 3 works because when you do factor by grouping, that works. And so I knew I had messed up, but let's keep going. 15 times negative 3, that's going to be a negative 45. And boom, we get a remainder of 0. That's what we want. So because we have the remainder of 0, we know that this is a factor. Not is a factor, sorry, is a 0. And because that is a 0, x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, x minus 3 is a factor. Don't lose that. X minus 3 is a factor. And now we're going to go from x cubed to x squared, right? So this is going to be x squared minus 2x minus 15. You're like, Dr. B, where'd you get that from? We started with x cubed. We divided it. We divided this polynomial by this 3. And when you divide, it goes down a level lower. So we have this x squared minus 2x minus 15, and then we have x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so x minus 3 is a factor, and x squared minus 2x minus 15 was the quotient. So now to find all the remaining zeros, let's see if we can continue factoring. So because that is a factor, then x cubed minus 5x squared minus 9x plus 45, I can write it as x minus 3 times x squared minus 2x minus 15. We can factor this. So that's x minus 3. And then times, that's going to be what, x 5 and 3. Yeah, x plus 3, x minus 5. Okay, check my FOIL. X plus 3 times x minus 5. So then, because these are all factors, that means I can take x minus 3, set it equal to 0. X plus 3, set it equal to 0. And then x minus 5, set it equal to 0. It says we're supposed to have 3 zeros, and we found 3. So I say we've done good. Okay, so I'm doing all of them at the same time. So we have x equals 3 is a 0. We have x equals negative 3. And we have x equals 5. Cool beans? Okay, cool beans. So we found the 3